Welcome, people, to the very first inaugural episode of Subs Live, Dubs Live, a
Woo!
comprehensive anime podcast.
The one and only.
D, we are here.
We live.
Dog, man, yo, this first off, before we jump into anything, man, my name's Jay, also known as Versace Vegeta.
Woo woo. It's your boy D. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is, man. It's D, man. Come on. Everybody knows
Listen, and we are two, I would say, young old heads in the anime game.
Forever.
You know what I mean? We've been around to see where it's grown since the 90s, you know what I mean? But we ain't, we wasn't out there tape collecting in the 80s or no shit like that. Those are the real old heads.
Yeah, those guys, shout out to them, man, because they paved the way for
real.
anime to hit real big in the States.
So true.
So shout out to them, but man, I don't think I could have done any of that.
Nah, for real, man. Especially back when, the internet was just IRC channels and stuff like that. Man.
What? I ain't got the bread for none of that, first and foremost.
Your life, dog. But listen, man, with us being two young anime old heads, we figured the best way that we can take advantage of the information that we've come across in our decades of being into this stuff is to share it with everybody, man.
Yes, sir.
This is a journey. I know for me, it started since the 90s. How about you, dog?
Oh, straight up in the 90s, fam. My dad is a big otaku.
Oh, yeah.
Big otaku. So, whatever he was watching, and he liked a lot of mecha. So, whatever he was watching, I picked up and saw what he was watching. Didn't understand what was going on, because he liked a bunch of things that were way beyond my region to understand. But as I got older, checking back in on those, I was like, yo, this is some great shit. So I've been exposed to anime since the 90s, and around 2000 is when I really locked in to this life. Like really, really locked in. Like computer booming, just going straight on the interwebs, taking advantage of my dad's email, going on an instant messenger, trying to see what's up with how can I find any other anime? Because I'm like, yo, this stuff is kind of cool.
Oh, for sure.
It's kind of cool. It's violent from what he was watching, but hey, I'm like, yo, it's cool. It's way better than watching something super kiddish, but hey, it helped, paved the way, and shaped my taste in a lot of forms of entertainment. So I appreciate that. I love anime. No matter how many times you may see me harp and critique it to its core. Like I love anime. It's gotten me out of trouble first and foremost. It's made me make some of the best people I've considered close friends of mine due to this wonderful thing. So I love anime. I want to share my love for it on this pod, give y'all information from what I know, and, especially with my boy, because my boy, he knows his stuff, he knows his stuff, forever. He knows his stuff. He's a connoisseur.
I try, dude. We got a real similar background with that too, man. My uncle put me on to anime pretty young, man. He used to get the tapes from Houston in the Chinatown they had out there.
Ooh, yo.
And I remember specifically watching Fist of the North Star with him when I was young. And
you off right.
Yeah, exactly.
He started you off right.
I was like 7 or 8, and he was just showing me these Fist of the North Star tapes. And I was like, yo, okay, this dude right here is on some other. You know what I mean? Like, and not to mention, the same uncle was hella into like all the Capcom games and Square RPGs like Final Fantasy and stuff like that. So, all this stuff being in the same wheelhouse, it was really easy for me to get into anime. Of course, the late 90s, we start seeing Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Digimon, all that on TV, and I was just immersed, bro. Like, much like you. Like, yeah, man. Like, I had the Nick cartoons and stuff, but once anime came around, dog, it was a wrap, bro.
Like, let's be honest, man. Like, we, as boys, growing up, in our era,
Yeah.
We weren't trying to see. I mean, there was a time for those kind of cartoons we would see on Nick and etc. etc. But yo, when you see Dragon Ball as a kid, you see these warriors going blow for blow. It's really hard for you to stray away from that. You know,
So
that'd be
hard.
like people don't understand it. In the 2000s, 90, like, fam, we are out here playing real life Dragon Ball at recess. All we
Yes.
talking about is Dragon Ball. And like we talk about other stuff, but Dragon Ball is what's hot. Like, man, we all charging up. We all doing our Kamehameha waves. We are turning Super Saiyan. We doing everything.
Hell
So
yeah.
Dragon, shout out to Dragon Ball, man. Like Dragon Ball really, people make. I mean, I know we've been exposed to a lot of great anime as
Of
the years have
course.
gone by, but I feel like folks like really crap on Dragon Ball, and I'm like, man, Dragon Ball, it may not be like this masterpiece, and it's not peak cinema, it's not any of that, but it's fun and it's done a lot. It's really done a lot. So
And a lot of that comes from the fact that, we live in an era of streaming. So it's easy to get all the anime you ever want at any time you want it, right? We didn't come up with
yo,
that.
we
So I
had that,
see a
brother.
lot of recency bias where
Mm-hmm.
folks view older anime with 2022 eyes, right?
You
And
can't do that.
yeah, you can't.
You
Exactly. So
can't do that, bro.
that's a mission of ours, though, right? To show
Yeah.
people like, hey, this was the feel at that point in time, right? So
Yeah.
that's a lot of what we want to discuss. We're not a review podcast. We're
Oh hell
not.
no. I'm not that. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
folks. There's a lot of folks
hey,
that can do it perfectly.
yes,
Like,
all power to other review podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
The Lookout, one of my favorite
yeah,
review
they're dope.
podcasts. We're part of their network, Doc. We are
Yeah.
part of the
Woof.
Lookout Radio Network. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for
Exactly.
other review podcasts. But to let y'all know what we're gonna bring, you know what I'm saying? That's just a little bit different from what you might normally find. We're gonna be digging into a lot of production information, right? Like
Yeah.
going into, hey, what was this like when this movie or series aired at the time, right? And if we're not going into that sort of detail, we're going to go into more focused detail, right? So specifically, each season for this show, because we'll be having a seasonal breakdown, is going to be on one specific theme, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll have maybe a specific series that we're going to follow and only a certain set of information from that series, as opposed to us giving you a whole breakdown of like, a whole section of a show. But at the same time, we're going to be a watch along. So there will be different parts that we're going to cover, and we'll say, hey, this is what we're going to go over next week. So you've got time during that week in between episodes to see what we're going to be talking about, because we want to get in the discussion with you all too, right? It's one thing to just have us talking back and forth. It's another one to see how y'all felt at the time when something came out. So I say all of that to say, here with episode 0 of Subs Lie, Dubs Lie.
They do.
And they do.
They do.
We will be covering in season 1 all of the Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super movies.
Yes, sir.
And it's going to be really exciting because there's a lot of information that's it's well known, right? You know what I mean? Like everybody can tell you that Janemba was the villain of movie 12, right? Everybody can tell you.
Folks know that.
Exactly, right? But what we want to dig into is the nitty gritty, right? Because it's not so well known that Dragon Ball movies over in Japan, they were released as a part of Toei cartoon festivals, right?
Yo, what a great thing for the kids in the summertime, man. Imagine, you get a good festival and you have nothing but anime specials. That's dope. Man, I had that as a kid. Me personally, I ain't doing anything stupid.
Dog,
I'm locked in.
Staying out of trouble, man. And not just the summer ones. They had winter and spring festivals as well, dude. So you get one group of, say, 3 or 4 movies in the winter, one group of, say, 3 or 4 movies in the spring, and then another group of 3 or 4 movies in the summer, dude. Like, they made sure that kids had content, bro. And this is something that not only that, the festival would be a whole month long.
They were for the kids.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all hate on Toei, and I mean Toei has its faults, but Toei, one thing they do good, like they're going to give what the kids want.
And back in the day, they were locked into what the kids needed, man. Those
they
seasonal
knew exactly
films.
what they wanted.
And this is something where, this is why you have 15 Dragon Ball movies in total between 1986 and 1996 in Japan, right? Because there was a time where we would see 2 or 3 movies from Dragon Ball every year.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
That's a lot.
And imagine, what that was like for them, right? Because, when we got the tapes over here in the West, Dragon Ball Z was hot. So they're just giving us the tapes as they're ready to release them, whatever. Yeah. But to go see a Dragon Ball movie in Japan and know, like, hey, if I see one in the spring, I'm gonna see one again in the summer. Like, that's pretty dope.
That is dope. Bro. Imagine us. We're in the West. We're getting the tapes and the DVDs. No matter, depends on what area you are in, whatever year you are. You got a VHS tape. It just released. It didn't have anything to do with any season. It was just a release. It was a release. Expensive release at that. These kids know what they're getting. Yes. They know what they're looking forward to. It's like the Ice Cream Man coming around. They know the season. They know it's time for them to get what they need. These kids are hyped out there in Japan, getting this every year. Us?
Man. By the time we got, Dragon Ball Z was hyped for us in the West, but it wasn't the same feel as knowing you had 2 theatrical releases every year. Like that's just different, bro. We didn't get to see Dragon Ball Z movies in theaters until 2013 in the West. Unless you were lucky enough to have one be filmed somewhere. Or I'm sorry, not filmed somewhere, but aired somewhere. So.
And guess what? I ain't have that. I ain't have that, man. I ain't have that. I flat out didn't have that. I had to wait for the tapes. And as I got older, I had to buy them DVDs. And they were expensive. Very expensive.
Very, bro. You remember what it was like for us when we were in our early teens. If you went to a Sam Goody or a Suncoast or whatever, and you tried to get the uncut VHS of Dragon Ball,
Jesus.
There would be 3 episodes on that hoe, and it would be $35.
$35. Imagine it. In the box, it's all nice and looking, and it's all cool. Like, you think you about to really eat with this VHS tape. Bam! It's only 3 episodes. Bro, I will never forget getting one for my birthday, using my birthday money.
Yeah.
Brought that son of a bitch right home, took it, popped it in, and to my surprise, it was legitimately 3 episodes. I didn't know. Fam, it's not like the era that we're in now where it's like what you're getting.
Yeah.
Like as a youngin', you're just gonna buy because you see something that you like, you gonna get it.
Exactly.
I didn't have
too excited to look at the back of the box.
I'm not looking at the back of the box. I'm looking at the front of the box.
Yeah.
Fam, I see Cell on the box. I see Trunks on the box. I'm getting it. These guys are cool. I'm gonna get the box. Little did I know I spent $35 on 3 episodes that legitimately come on television every other Saturday. Man, I was sick. Ain't no refunds. You had to eat that up.
That's right, dude. I remember, golly, similar story to yours, man. But I got some money to spend on clothes before the school year started. My 7th grade year. No, I want to say 6th grade actually. And I remember I was in the mall or whatever with my uncle actually, and we walked into Suncoast, and there was the first 2 tapes of the Cell saga, bro. Like the Android saga. So, you have the episodes where the androids first showed up and Yamcha gets pieced up and all that, man. And I thought it was the coolest shit ever. Because there you see Android Honey's hand just going straight through Yamcha's chest.
It's stuck in there. I'm like,
I was like, bro, we don't see this on TV.
This is brazy.
But that was $70, dog. For 6 episodes. It's nuts, man. So yeah, you know, that's the kind of stuff we want to uncover, right? Not just what it was like for the folks in Japan when a movie came out, but what it was like for us when we finally got it, right?
Yep.
Because we can only really speak from our experiences. We can let you know the information that's available for when it came out in Japan, but we want to, you know, dig into our first reactions and things like that as well, man. Give some trivia, talk about the themes, you know, go into any sort of noticeable dub changes, because like the show says, subs lie, dubs lie. And when it comes to Dragon Ball specifically, man, Funimation been lying to us for decades.
You know, Funimation, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what y'all had going on, but y'all made a generation believe Goku was Superman. And I'll never forgive y'all for that. We still have people in the year 2022 thinking this man is Superman. So it's your fault. It's your fault. You know what you did. You know what you did. You saw what you did to these kids.
Because of all that, that's why we're here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we want to do. We want to help uncover the truths behind the misconceptions of not just Dragon Ball, but, you know, even other anime. And if there's not misconceptions, we at least want to go over the not so common information and bring that out for y'all, right? Because, of course, yes, the first season is going to be about the Dragon Ball movies, but please understand, we are bigger fans than just Dragon Ball. So the branching out will happen, but to let y'all know exactly what to expect over these next 9 or 10 weeks, we will be covering the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super movies. We'll be breaking those down in groups. So with the first episode, you can expect us to cover the first 3 Dragon Ball movies. That's going to be the Curse of the Blood Rubies, the Princess's Sleeping Devil's Castle, and the Mystical Adventure. So definitely take the time to watch those if you can or if you want to, because we're going to be not so much reviewing them, but going into more background information. And of course, we'll give a brief synopsis, but don't expect to get your whole fill of, oh, this is what it's like if I watched it from us, because you know, we don't want to ruin your experience. We want to really just add to what that experience was like when we first saw it, when it came out for the people, and then just give, like I said, some little information on it, man.
We are not a review podcast.
And that's okay. And that's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's the thing.
We need reviewers.
They have to be there, right? Because that's where you want to get your weekly information. You know what I'm saying? Or like, hey, like we're watching along with a show and we want to kind of just go over just the details on it. That just so you know, it won't be what we do, but
that's not what we're doing here.
But at the same time, we do want to make sure to cover all bases on all other information, man. So without discussing what we're going to be bringing to y'all for too long, we do want to thank you for joining us on episode 0 of Sublie Dubs Lie. You know, be on the lookout for more from us. Like I said, this first season, we will be going over the Dragon Ball movies, but we also want to hear from y'all. So whenever, you know, we're able to have more interactivity, do expect us to have some Twitch streams, maybe some spaces in Twitter, just so that way we can discuss the episodes or the content of the episodes with y'all and see what y'all think.
Yo, enlighten us. I know you guys love these Dragon Ball movies. I see you guys. There's a reason why Broly showed his face about 50 times a year on my timeline. Right. So show me, tell me about it. Tell me your favorite movie.
And you can always reach out to us through Twitter. I am Versace Vegeta _.
Hey, and it's me on Twitter, Brother D. That is with 2 E's. I will respond. I will respond.
There you have it, man. We ready to talk. We ready to spit game with y'all about this anime stuff, man. But we don't want to hold y'all too long. So, like I said, thank you for coming out to Subs Live, Dubs Live. Thank you for listening to us here, man. We'll be back with y'all real soon. Like I said, we're going to be covering the first 3 Dragon Ball movies. And remember, Subs Live, Dubs Live. We don't.
Yeah, we ain't here. We here to set you free, man. We here to set you free. We first and foremost, again, we want to thank y'all for tuning in and listening to us first and foremost. But yo, this is gonna be amazing. Trust me. We're gonna have fun. Won't you have fun?
D&J would never lie to y'all, baby. We out here. Peace.